Hello and welcome to the Gay and Straight Talk podcast. I'm Jonathan,
I'm Paul.
and together we dissect sort of exciting and controversial subjects.
Just random nonsense
In fairness, we have actually covered a few things that we disagree on. So,
for
someone
once.
has written in and saying they're talking about like influencer culture and selfies, and they're saying. Um, Is having a selfie at a funeral wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
What?
And I was like, have I read that right? Who on earth has a selfie? I mean, is this with the crypt? Is this coughing open? It's like an open one, like. I mean, what? Who?
Yeah.
Who?
I think it's just there's an odd thing. It doesn't even have to be about and people do that where they'll be like R.I.P. Gran, best Gran in the world. Or they do that, don't they, where the Gran's dying in hospital and they take a picture of holding their hand and then put like a black and white colour over it with a little love heart in the corner while they're dying, or the gran will be there, like granddad with his, breathing tube in his nostril, lying there looking like death. Oh, and they're there just like
I'm
posing
gobsmacked. Why? Why?
because they are
Oh,
narcissistic, little attention seeking muppets. There's no,
I just think
the worst
that's.
time of somebody's life, and you're using it as an opportunity just to
Oh,
say, look at
and will
me.
someone live stream someone being cremated next? Like, well, they'll put a ring light and a camera in the coffin with grandma being like, suddenly it's sort of like, whoomph. Then suddenly cuts to dark. I mean,
Yeah.
what? Sorry, I
It's
know.
horrible. It's a weird. It's like right. Remember when there was some big event in America, like there's been some big like a Hurricane Katrina type of thing,
Hmm.
but it wasn't a Hurricane Katrina because it was after that, and there was this woman, this influencer, and I loved it. It was one of those moments that make you feel full because it's just so yummy. And there was this influencer, and she was caught on camera by another dude across the road going, "Oh, look, there's whatever her name was." She walks up to this guy who's sweating buckets, doing all this construction outside this place. And you see her sort of talk to him, but you don't know what she says. And then she gets his hammer. He gets
Mhm.
out a shot, and then her boyfriend's there filming and doing all this weird angle stuff. And she's hammering. And then she does it for like 5 seconds.
Did you get that, love?
Yeah, and then she gives the guy his hammer back and walks off. And then the guy shows the clip that the girl had done. And it was like, doing my bit, been here for like 3 straight weeks, like helping the community. It's like, no, you haven't. So that little clip the guy took to call her out
Yeah.
ended her career as an influencer. And I was like, good, because it's not a career.
But
It is once you get massive, because then you get your sponsorships and you do all that messing about. But there's a lad.
But
I mean, he drives me mad. I won't say who he is, but I do follow him on Instagram because I'm. When you shouldn't look at the sun,
right.
but you can't help it, kind of
Right,
thing. Like this
okay.
is what this guy is for me. Like I watch him and I go, I don't know what you do. Probably people watching this with us, but
Yeah.
we're just having a chat. But this guy, he just. I'll show you him off away from this, but he reviews food, but it's like snacks, and I'm obsessed with it because it's
Is this
not.
the guy with the big moustache?
No.
No.
It's like I think he's maybe a young, like in his 20s,
Oh, right.
but he goes on about it being a career because people are like, "What do you do? What do you actually do for a living?" He's like, "Well, I do this for a living. This is actually a job." So it's not.
I mean, so there is.
You're eating cakes and
I
filming
mean, it's a flash in the pan. It's like the sort of like the Big Brother mentality where people are, "Oh, I've got a career after this." And I think it's a Big Brother became very meta, sort of way back when in the UK, because there was a gang of people that were put in there and they were having a conversation, and it was when they used to play it on E4 24/7,
Yeah, they did.
and they
Yeah.
were having a conversation, and the conversation was sounding like, so if I get voted out, do you think I'll still get my Heat cover? As in they'll get
Yeah,
the cover
for the
of Heat magazine.
magazine, yeah.
to get to get the likes and things, and it's and you just think, God, what purpose do they have?
Yeah. Like
I mean,
what
you've
value
got.
do they provide?
I mean, you say you had like the starlets that came through Hollywood, like the sort of Joan Crawford and Bette Davis, but they had talent.
Mm.
They had a purpose, where that they were portraying stories. And I know people have sort of become completely obsessed with social media and TikTok and going through doom scrolling, and
Yeah.
it's and I'm sorry, I have to say sometimes you wake up and you go,
Yeah, you
and
can't
then
help it. You
suddenly,
fall into it.
yeah, and then suddenly you're falling in and you're watching someone who's adopted a fox and thought it was a dog or something,
Yeah.
an abandoned puppy or something, and you just think, oh, and then. But then suddenly you've liked it for you've maybe you clicked heart or something like that, and suddenly your entire feed is full of puppies that have been abandoned and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And you just think, oh.
Yeah. I need to avoid where I press the heart button because my feed is bonkers on Instagram, especially. But it's like, if people make a career out of it, good for you, well done. If people, bringing money from it, well done. But what upsets me on one angle is a lot of people change once they hit a sponsorship point because they then only speak a certain way to make sure they'll never upset anyone, to make sure I can keep all my options open. And I hate that. You should always be true to yourself no matter what. And if people don't want to know you or touch you, good. You don't want to do business with them.
And there are a couple of sort of influencers that are actually doing so. And there's a gay couple in Canada, and they did a travel log where they basically sold everything with them and their two cute Labradors or golden retrievers, traveled around sort of North America and Canada, going to these gorgeous places and everything. And in the end, decided to go self sufficient and bought like a forest in a part of a forest in Canada, and did an off-grid thing where they lived in this equivalent of an igloo, plastic igloo on stilts, created the infrastructure with solar panels, and then created a shipping container house,
Mm.
which they stacked out. Admittedly, it does look absolutely gorgeous, and I've been following their journey for the last 3 years. Last Christmas, last December, it got too much living in the igloo thing. And when it's lovely and big and stuff, and they had a wood burner and stuff like that, so they bought a cabin next to the lake, which admittedly I'd much prefer.
Yeah.
Really nice, it had everything. But now the shipping container's all done, so they're in a shipping container. So shipping container's done. They've done the swimming pool, which is where it's working for the swimming pool is a purpose for living off grid because it lets the heat from the heating and the air conditioning go into the water. So it's somewhere for outlet. So it creates sort of like an outlet for the heat to go
Mm.
into the swimming pool. So and you think, oh, it's great. And now they're stuck at things to do because they've got the infrastructure, they've got their garden, where they could do the fruit and veg and all that sort of stuff, and quite a lot of the off-grid stuff. And they've got this whole like solar farm.
So they've done it, and then it's now
They've
what
done
to
it,
do.
and now the trailer which they bought, there's like one of these big, like
Yeah.
not a Winnebago. Well, it's a Winnebago that goes on the back of a truck. Like the standard sort of like a Range Rover with a pickup
Mm.
thing, and now they're renovating that. So when visitors come, they've got somewhere to stay. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not really signing up for that
Yeah, the rest of the stuff was good, but now you're
because you're
clutching.
doing something, and it felt like, yeah, oh, you can see it. I love that the transformations where they've done something and they've made something very simple look very elegant and attractive and comfortable.
See, I prefer to watch stuff like that though, other than like say a guy in his bedroom just trying snacks. I just don't know what the purpose of that does.
Or people playing video games.
That's
I suppose
massive. That is
that is
massive.
it's like,
I
is
watch
it
guys
twitching?
Twitch, yeah. These so people will live stream themselves playing a video game. So you've got people logging in to watch someone else play a video game.
I suppose if you're that invested in the video game they're actually playing and you want to know how
I mean,
they're
I'll
doing
admit,
it.
I watch a couple of videos on like Football Manager because I've been playing it for 30 years. But there's like videos by guys who then do a challenge or I decided I was just going to use the money ball technique, and it's like, well, go on then, I'll give that a watch. And rabbit hole later, you've lost 5 hours
Yeah, I'm gonna say
watching them.
what was it? My godkids one Christmas, so we sort of we spent some time. I said to my my friend who made me godfather for her kids. I said, look, I'm going to be pretty useless as guidance. I'll bring them Christmas presents. I'll probably forget the birthdays, but when they're 18, we can go out and get drunk.
Yep.
And she said, oh yeah, that's fine. And I went round to their house at Christmas, and we've got three boys and a girl. The girl was number one because she was the first. But the three boys are obsessed with Lego and also the Star Wars Lego,
Right.
and they're completely obsessed with Minecraft. And they were literally she's got a massive house. They've got a TV room specialized just for it's got a massive screen TV, and they're literally watching Minecraft videos of people playing Minecraft. I think, oh, this is really fucking boring.
Can't play it yourself.
Yeah, and it was just like, yeah. But the thing is, I said, well, we're learning how to do it properly, and I was like, and I sort of get that because I remember when my brother had a Sega Master System. I had
I
Sonic the
had one of them.
Hedgehog,
That'd be the
um,
Mega Drive if it was Sonic.
and so had that, and I had a go on it, and became obsessed with it, and I literally played it for 25 hours straight until I finished it, and I did it twice more, finished it, and then that was it.
Kind of done with video games forever.
That was it. I've not really played a video game since Sonic.
Wow.
I think so. I thought like, all right, I want to do this. I like to do it because when I had a Spectrum and a Commodore, and I had like Jet Set Willy and Manic Miner and all that sort of stuff, but they were all. I think you could never really finish them
Yeah.
because you got to a certain stage and there wasn't it just kept going and going and going. There was one computer game on the BBC computer because BBC bought out this microcomputer which went into all the schools in the early 80s, and it's called Elite, and it was like a trading game, a space trading game. But if you finish the trading game, you could, the first person to finish it got £20,000. I don't know if anyone actually won that because that one summer we were all playing this computer game, trying to trade up because you went from planets to trade one thing to another thing, and then but yeah, but it's amazing how you get obsessed. So I suppose people can get obsessed with watching that. So I could sort of get the twitches.
Yeah. It's
Um,
just the overall sort of what is an influencer, isn't it? Because like I say, if you've got someone there and they're taking pictures at funerals, and those people who want to, oh, this will be good for me channel, this will be good for me numbers, and they're filming a fight instead of trying to break it up or phoning the police, you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like, oh yeah, at least I've got some good content. It's like, no, you've just proven that you're an idiot. Like there was a situation in front of you. So either intervene and break it up, phone the police.
Or insert yourself a post with it and say, "Oh yeah, I was there," and but you didn't do anything. You could
Yeah,
have
it's like these
stopped.
American kids fighting, and it's funny, I will admit, but there's these two kids and they're proper going at it, and then there's this dude in front, and he just jumps in the middle, starts dancing and break dancing and doing like spinneroonies on the floor in front of them because he knows it's being filmed, and it's so funny. But these kids knocking 10 bells out of each other, and he's just going posing and then dancing. But I don't understand this, like you see it at sport events as well. Like, obviously, I watch wrestling because it's
Gay porn.
awesome. And what's nuts about it is it's on
Nuts.
TV. It's on TV. You can watch it in 4K. There's multiple camera angles, and there'll be a wrestler walking down, and everybody has got the phone out filming them or trying to get themselves in, like as they're walking past, like, I was here, you know. It's like, yeah, I know, I watched you on TV, not looking at them. And the best thing I ever saw, and it probably will be forever, when it came to people being obsessed with a phone, it wasn't an influencer, fair enough, but it was a girl at a Justin Timberlake concert, and she was properly engrossed in a phone, and Justin Timberlake walks right over, kneels down, and he's right there. and she doesn't even see him. And then he sort of like stands up and does that and walks off and carries on singing. And she sees him when he stands up and turns, and she's so devastated that she's missed him. It's like, don't look at your phone for a bit then.
We went and saw Kate Bush in Hammersmith Apollo or something, whatever, Hammersmith Empire or something, when she did a residency in 2014, and she'd asked, "Do not film this. I want. I'm doing this because I want the experience because her son was performing in it and her husband was on stage with her. So doing this because they wanted me to come back and do this, and I wanted to have the experience because she played there previously. The last time she toured was there, and one of the backing people got killed in an accident
Right.
sort of out there. So I think it was a brilliant performance. But she asked, please don't film it. Just enjoy it and experience it.
Mm.
And a lot of people did.
Yeah.
And we did exactly the same. Phones were away.
Yeah. That's one thing I like about, I mean, I like a lot of things about Oasis. But every time you hear them talk about, what was the best part about being in Oasis playing live, is like everyone was just in the moment
Yeah.
because phones weren't out when we were touring the first time around, and the 90s, and people were just loving it, living in the moment. It's like, but now everyone experiences everything through a phone instead of actually just being present.
I mean, it's quite interesting because there does seem to be a resurgence of people going back to old school things because
No, there
everyone's
is.
taking pictures. When I've got taken loads of pictures, and I went through that whole phase where you take a picture of your food when you go out. Yeah, post it.
I've
Oh,
never
and then
done that.
what was it? Yeah, it's beige. It's
I
deep
took a
fried.
picture of a steak once because it was massive. I was like, whoa, good size of that steak. That
Yeah.
was it.
So when you get when you have Facebook reminders, yeah, I'm that old to have a Facebook account. But and you've got pictures like memories, and it's like food. And I think, oh, that's a bit boring.
Yeah.
And then you've got like massive amount of photos which you've posted with friends and everything, and it's like, oh yeah, okay. I've not. So if it hadn't come up, I would never have looked back at them.
No.
And it does seem to. I've written on my Substack, Jonathan Welford at Substack, about the toys that people used to have as a kid. And as I was brought up like with the Action Man and Star Wars toys, and you had the Fisher Price garage where
Yeah.
sort of like when the elevator where the car went up and then went down, and the sort of yeah. So there was always like a Smartie stuck in the bloody lift, so it got jammed after a while. It had to rot before it started working again. But you had adventures. You created your own
You did.
sort of
You were
like thing.
hands-on. You
And then you had
used
like
things
these
mechanically.
sort of the gay porn dolls that were He-Man, where it's sort of someone that's been in the tanning bed for too long was too oiled, like He-Man. And so, but you created your own adventures and your shank pile with like He-Man
Did.
and or Action Man had an affair with Barbie and this Barbie's Corvette or something. But so but the kids nowadays, they're just on the tablets.
Yeah, don't start me
However,
on
there
that,
does
man.
seem to be something which is quite comforting that's coming out. There's where book talk is a big thing.
Book talk.
This is people that read books and review books online. So
I reckon they don't. I reckon they
Well,
will
the-
like ask ChatGPT, what's this book about?
That-
Summarize it
there
for me
is-
so I can look
there
popular.
is there was a woman. It's hilarious. She said, "Oh yeah, because I you can read 100 books in a month."
Well, you can't.
And then she did a video. Basically, she's got this app which you can scan into the book, and it basically gives you a summary of the book. And then she reads the summary of the book, and then she says, "I've read the summary of the book. I've read the book."
What?
Oh, and it's longer than the actual, just like a sort of a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
But you have that, but now booktube, people are, because they can't afford to do a lot of stuff
Can't
now.
afford to do
computer
anything.
games and that sort of thing. But you can afford to go to the library and get a book. You can afford to get and physical books, as in bookshops are becoming popular again because you can go out and buy a book, and the book will entertain you for a week or a few days. And a book is 8 to 12 quid. It depends if you get for a
How
hardback
many
or something.
books do you think you've read?
This year, none. I'm working on one at the moment. I'm reading. I'm getting back into reading because I'm back writing again. and I'm working on a novel. Um, but so the more you read, the better you write.
Yeah.
So, and when we lived overseas, when we took a year off when we got married, I think we read about 150 books in a year because we were in Turkey and it got really, really hot. So we were just in the air conditioning
Yeah.
and we read everything. And then literally,
Wow.
and that's when we got Kindles because literally we could just download. And we took 30 books out with us in the January thing. Oh, that'll last us because we thought, all right, we'll probably sort of go somewhere else in August, but we can leave the books there or donate them somewhere. We put 30 books out. We'd read them all by mid-Feb. Um,
That's
bec-
nuts.
yeah,
I haven't read. I haven't read 5 books.
but the thing is,
I'm terrible at them. I
but
just can't
but
seem to.
but the thing is, you've got to have a book that really captures
It's just
your
words on a
imagination.
piece of paper. I just can't. I can't seem to make the imagery in my mind.
Oh, and I
I've
can.
tried. I've tried.
I've, but kids nowadays are now going into books, and that's creating the imagination because lots of people on tablet and they've got like a 90-second like attention
Yeah,
span on
it's
something else.
shocking, man.
And I have to admit that I've got trapped into that. And picking up a book, it's like really tough.
Yes.
But I'm sort of like 60 pages into one book that I'm reading at the moment, and I'm really loving it. So
Mm.
we're on the train down to
Well, there you
London.
go then. So I suppose with like influencers, I suppose if people could influence positivity
Well,
in relation
but
to,
so that's what I'm saying is that they are there are people are going back to books and they're doing book reviews and that sort of thing. But then it's all becoming overly consumptions where they're doing book hauls and and I've got a friend who's a professional author. So he's um, been a writer all his life. He went to university, then went to academia, and then was writing books. So he's literally did academia, then left academia after he did his PhD, and has been a writer for the last 20 odd years. So he's a professional writer. Doesn't earn a great deal, but he normally has published about 3 or 4 books traditionally and non-traditional. Um, but he is a writer,
mm,
and he reads about 8 to 10 books a month. But he has his rhythm of the week.
yeah, yeah,
He has weekends off, Monday to Friday. He writes his pages, and then he reads. And he absorbs himself in creative stuff. He's just written a play that's being done. He's done loads of he's written scripts and done audio plays and things like that. But this is the first play that he's done. He has ferreted around TV production and stuff like that, but nothing of his has been done. He's big in the Doctor Who universe, but that that's good. I think you have to read to be able to do that. So a lot of people have started going back to books and are actually reading books, and then they are writing.
yeah.
So there's a lot of younger writers
Yeah,
that
and
are coming
if
out.
influencers can sort of encourage this type of creativity, because there's nothing better than creativity. It's
Yeah,
such a good feeling. And, like you say, it spawns something positive. Yeah, you'll always have there's always a bad smell somewhere, but there's always going to be the idiots.
yeah.
But if it can encourage people who are just sort of stuck in that brain rot and scrolling and just
But I think you have to
posing for
come away from
selfies
that
at
because
funerals.
sort of, I think the influence culture, it's a short term. It's you have the endorphins or whatever when you're going through and you're like, ooh, open up and what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? I'm getting bored of social media.
Yeah, well, I stepped away from quite a lot of that because I didn't know why I was doing it. It was
Yeah,
like the novelty was there, and then
am I
when you
missing
step back,
out?
you go, "What am I?
And
What
then
is
you're
it
thinking
for,
like
though?"
it's like Facebook, is it brag book? And it's just it just occupies your time, but you're wasting the time,
Yeah,
and you're
you're
thinking,
wasting your time.
and I'm 52, and I want to do something. I've stepped away from full time work because I can afford to now, but now I want to do something for me, and I
Mm.
want to be creative. I may not turn it into like a professional career or be something like Stephen King, but I think I'd like to give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go. At least if you create something, it's better than
And I
not.
think with the influencer culture, if you're doing something and you're creating something, then great.
Mm.
And if doing what you're doing leads you into creating something. But if you're just going to be consuming and like, I've got a makeup haul, coloring book haul, book haul, are you going to read those books? I mean, because you've got these people that are buying book hauls and things like that, and then building these bookcases and libraries full of all these immaculate books, and then they do a video of I've reaudited my books in color rather than alphabetized, so the spines all match the different colors, and you just think,
Suppose those people are like me with my trainers upstairs.
yeah, well, you say, yeah, when you've got your
Just
trainers, and it's sort of like, I don't want to wear them.
don't. Although I have made the executive decision, there's no more trainers going in the collection, and I will
We've got no room on
wear
the
them.
shelf.
Yeah, there's that as well. Yeah.
So-
But no, they're going to get one. The red ones will be on my
So,
feet
well,
at Christmas.
I need to sell the house. I need to get a bigger house for have a room for my trainers.
But no, like I say, influencing is there's no bother so long as you're actually influencing positivity, influencing a good idea, influencing, like you say, to get into reading. And if you can
Yeah.
sell
Yeah, and I
reading,
think-
then people might pick up a book, and it might be
If I
something
pick
they're
up a book,
into.
so this book's amazing. You've got to do this, and that'll lead you on to something else. And if you enjoy that book, then I mean, because you read one of these cozy mystery things, the Murder Club or something.
Yeah, Thursday Murder.
And then you've got it's sort of that.
I listened to it.
Yeah, but the thing is it might lead on to something else. Where
Yeah,
it'll get to something else.
it's
and
the same
something
with
else.
like I listen to the Lee Child books when I'm driving.
Reacher books.
Reacher books, yeah. And then I show up and I think I'm Reacher wherever I go. I'm like Reacher if he had the worst, the worst life.
So anyway, dear listeners, what do you think? What do you think about influencer culture? Please do let us know. We're on all social media channels at Gay and Straight Talk. I am Jonathan, signing off.
And I'm Paul signing off.
Bye-bye.